welcome to another edition of Small Talk here on the Mixed Bag. If you don't know what Small Talk is our section of our podcast where we usually warm up with a starter topic and then we start recording our main podcast. I am Zach Martin, a co-host of this. With me is
Sean Barnes, and today we're going to be talking about a recent internet phenom, or viral video, if you prefer to call it something like that. But it's from it was for a PBS special kind of thing. Let's take a listen. All right, we're gonna listen to it.
All these links will be in the description of this podcast you're going to be listening to. So just look into the description. Or if you're in a place that you can't find the description, don't worry, we're including the audio for it anyway, so you'll just be in for a surprise.
Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to listen to it.
All right. So why don't you start us off, Sean?
No problem. 3, 2, 1.
Click.
Hi, neighbor. Welcome again to this neighborhood.
Did you ever watch this?
You know what this is?
Oh yeah, I used to watch it all the time as a kid. I mean, this was, a childhood staple of mine.
This is a cassette player with a little cassette in here.
I do remember hearing about Mr. Rogers actually dying.
What it is.
That was kind of sad.
Ever imagine things?
Oh,
Are they
shit.
scary things? Are they scary things? Do you ever
imagine
things? Things you'd like to have? Did you ever see a cat's eyes in the dark and wonder what they
No.
were? Did you ever pretend about things like that? Did you ever pretend? Did you ever grow anything
in the garden of your mind?
In the garden of
That face.
You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow. Imagine every person that you see is somewhat different from every other person in the world. Some can do some things, some can do others.
This really makes me
Did you
kind
ever
of
think
want to rewatch Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, watching any of this guy's stuff just makes me want to do science.
You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow.
Oh yeah, gotta love that chorus.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Going like that. Let's give the fish some food.
No, don't feed him.
Mr. McFeely, I didn't order any whistles. That's what they call a slide whistle. Did you feel like going like that?
I actually wonder how long it took to create this.
To learn about in this world, and so many people
Um,
who can help us learn.
Hours and hours.
Grow anything in the garden of your mind. You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things.
Does that mean you can be curious about being gay? And just imagine some listener out there saying that.
Things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow.
You know how many people that are commenting on these videos that are too young to have actually know anything about Mr. Rogers, right?
That depresses me more than anything. That's
Yeah. So I guess we can talk about the two things you can talk about here, which is there's a really fantastic series of videos on YouTube. They've been online for a couple years by this guy named John D. Boswell. They're called the Symphony of Science. You can find him over on Melody Sheep. It's his YouTube account. And he basically takes all these really amazing people from the history of PBS and other educational television, and all the way up from so he's got people going all the way. So you got like Carl Sagan, you got Mr. Rogers, all the way up today to superstars like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it's music that kind of makes you think.
Well, another great thing about this music is the harmonies in this are just spectacular. Like, they're not just, I'm sure, some people automatically dismiss autotune, but all the lyrics make sense. The harmonies and notes just meld together in a really fantastic way. And I mean, you can buy these songs on iTunes. iTunes are so good, and I have bought them on iTunes, and I do listen to them. I mean, if the guy is putting out a quality this good of songs, then absolutely I want to contribute to that.
I'm not very good at
Exactly. I mean, it was kind of cool when I first saw one of his first videos, which was about Carl Sagan. It starts with him talking about one of my favorite quotes, which is,
If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe.
and he just takes that, he takes all these little other quotes by Sagan. Even I like how in a lot of his videos what he'll do is he'll take some weird little sound or something that happens in a clip, and he'll use that to make some type of basically a marker in the song to know when the chorus is going to start, or in something. Basically, it gives you a nice feel.
A nice lead into it, so that it's all pleasant to the ears. It's not, I mean, you can tell the guy really put some serious work hours into this.
Exactly.
And, that's what really makes it stand out above the crowd, you could say.
And as for the subject of this particular video, Mr. Rogers, I mean, he's obviously he was a TV icon for over a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. I mean, two decades, right?
Yeah, 2 to 3 decades. I mean, he was in my childhood. He was in, a lot of people's childhood. I mean, he used to come home and watch Mr. Rogers, and watch that damn trolley. It'd be a treat to come and see that trolley.
I love hearing all the interesting stories about Mr. Rogers. Like, of course, there's the old one about the fact that Mr. Rogers was a Navy SEAL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then there's the one that I think a lot of people know, which is that his car got stolen, and it got a lot of news and press. And the very next day or a few days afterwards, the car showed up again at his house with a note that said, "We're sorry, we wouldn't have stolen it if we knew it was yours."
Like a boss. That's because
that's like
Mr. Rogers is a complete boss. Okay, you don't f with him because he's so nice.
Now, if you want to hear a weird story about Mr. Rogers that you probably haven't heard before, it's kind of not exactly relevant to Mr. Rogers, but he's involved in the story, which is there's a woman. I remember reading an article a long time ago about a woman who had terrible luck. And one of the anecdotes she had was that when she was younger, she was at a public pool and she accidentally fell and pantsed a man. And that man was Mr. Rogers.
Cool.
I mean, there was a lot of other stories, like she fell off a cruise ship and she got struck by lightning. Yeah, it was interesting. But Mr. Rogers, class act. The Symphony of Science is definitely something I would recommend to anybody who's a fan of good music, or a fan of science, or a fan of both. I mean, I can't really say anything else to recommend them.
I mean, I know a lot of people have used, like Auto-Tune the News is another example of someone taking something, auto-tuning it, and putting it into a product. And occasionally, I feel like Auto-Tune the News does something, it's like, okay, that's a good song.
I was going to say, I noticed, I after listening to this, and then I listened to some Auto-Tune the News, I was like, you know what?
I feel like Auto-Tune the News does it in like a weekend, and this takes like a month.
Yeah, some guy sits down and he's like looking through clips and clips and clips to find really good quotes, and then he's
hours
looking through
of
clips to find really good sounds and just bring it together into something really amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever doubt this guy, in his, you go, well, I don't think it's that good of a video. Well, you're stupid. I mean, I'm sorry, you have to be stupid to look at that and go, I could do that. I could do that faster than he could. No, well, you probably could, but it won't be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I
Alright.
mean, if you haven't checked this out, please go on YouTube, go on iTunes, support the guy, get your voice heard. I mean, this guy is just absolutely fantastic, um, as you've probably heard in the audio clips I've uploaded in the background. Uh, but yeah, I mean,
I mean I think that's all we really have to say. And I guess
can you think of anything else?
I guess all I have to say is that's the end of our highbrow small talk,
I do
and
say.
our very kind of lowbrow subject we're starting with in our main podcast. Thank you.
Well, I just realized
What's that?
Toonami is on.
Oh crap.